Right, so I've put on the KastKing Zephyr onto the Kingdom Silver Needle. Hopefully you can focus on that and see that. A KSCF 562UL, and I have a 5-gram jig head with an FFS Lures Finesse Stick on it, and we're using the 10-pound Hercules braid in the shocking pink color with an 8-pound fluorocarbon leather, and we're going to see how well it casts, this Zephyr, and see how well it fishes. Lovely day. Make sure everything's straight, everything's threaded properly. Here we go, first cast. I've got the brakes set on 5 to start off with, and I'll do a nice light cast and see what happens. Yep, and we're going lovely. We're near enough across the canal there. My estimates of distance are not very good, but according to Google Earth, it is 80 foot across the canal. You'll have to excuse the noise from the canoers at the moment. Right, so we'll take it down a click at a time. In between each major clicks of 5 and 4 here, which are Roman numerals, which I definitely would have preferred normal numbers myself. I understand them, but you know, why not put 1 on there, 5 on there, whatever. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 other graduations in between. There are graduations in between each one of those, you can feel them, but they are very micro adjustments. Let's see, here we go. Yeah, I had to thumb that and stop it from hitting the far bank. So it's a beautifully free running reel. Let's try to the left a bit, not into the sun, so you can see, and I'm on 4.4 there. No hint of bird's nest, lovely and smooth. I didn't quite time it right there, but yeah, lovely, controlled, nice cast. There is a slight ting to it when I wind it. That's probably just the bearings are a little bit dry. Let's take it down a click. Flink it out there. Yeah, we're going great. If we were casting straight now, we'd be across that canal. So it feels lovely and smooth when you wind it back. Let's take it down another click. Slightly longer drop this time, and let's give it some. So I'm just casting one-handed here. Yeah, lovely controlled cast, beautiful. Yeah, right, we'll take it down another drop. So we're on 4.1 here. I'm expecting trouble. Yeah, it's fluffing a bit. I don't know whether you heard that, but it's a nice smooth cast though. All right, let's try again on that. Let's find its limit. Yeah, it's fluffing up, but it's across the canal. I'm having to thumb it to stop it. So with a 5-gram lure, 4.1 is its comfortable limit. I would get a bird's nest sooner or later if I use that, and you've got to think conditions on the day. There's not a breath of wind here. I'll knock it up to 4.2. They're a bit fiddly, all of that, and see what we get. Yeah, no hint that time, and we're out there. You know, that's a great cast. Let's put it back up to 4.3 and really give it some. Yeah, it feels uncomfortable. It's not easy to feel the graduation and make sure it's sat there. We'll have a look at the drop, make sure it's not too fast. Yeah, it's all right, it's controlled. It's not birdieing up when it hits the water. I might have said to you before how I set them up. This is how I do it. You don't have to do it, but this, for me, it's safe for whatever bait caster I'm doing. What I would do is put the brakes to 0 and set the spool up to drop, so that the lure hits the water or the deck in front of you and you don't birdie up. So I'm setting the intention to do that then with the brakes at 0. Then I'll whack the brakes up to the maximum. In this case it's 9, and then I'll work down from there until I find a comfortable setting that I can really whack the lures, and it gives me more confidence. I actually find I get, you know, you can put it to the edges, but then you don't feel confident enough to whack it. So it's a compromise. Do you want to be fishing or casting? But we're doing casting, so let's not digress. I'll put it back up to 4.3 now, and I'll give it a slightly longer drop and really punch it out there. Yeah, and it's going out there. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a beautiful smooth reel. Right, let's make sure you can see this. Right, now we've gone to a 3-gram jig head with the FFS Lures Finesse Stick on it. We'll go back up to 5 and see where we're going from there. Lovely and smooth, and a good distance there. I would say that's 18 yards. We're just over, nearly 2/3 of the way across the canal, so we'll take it down again. I've gone down to 4.3 now, bit longer drop, smoother cast. Yeah, it's accurate, it's going out there. It does feel like it's slightly over braking to me though, but let's try straight across the canal. So I've got some sort of comparison distance with the width of the canal and how far I'm throwing it, but it is over braking a little. But we are 2/3, if not 3/4 of the way across the canal there, so we're 65 foot plus if that Google Earth is correct, and that feels good. It is a lovely smooth reel. The sound seems to have disappeared now. It's like tinny sound. Yeah, look at that. I didn't have to thumb it or anything, and I've taken it down to 4.2 now, and it's almost across the canal with a 3-gram jig head and the finesse stick, so somewhere around 5 grams. Let's try another one. Let's try and get my timing a bit better. My release point a little bit earlier there, and we're straight and controlled and accurate. That's lovely. That's as much as I would expect with this this weight we have here. So let's take it down to 4.1. So we're obviously doing a comparison with the PW100 here. Yeah, that's free running and beautiful. I mean, if the canal is 80 foot wide, that there is doing 75 feet, and it's controlled. And let's show you what we're on. Let's turn out the sun so you can see we're on 4.1. So let's put it to 4, but I feel like I'm about to get the bird's nest. Yeah, there we go, we hit its limits. So 4.1 was its limit with roughly a 5-gram lure. Little small crankbait, 3.5 grams, reel set on 5. Yeah, we went just over halfway. It felt like it was over braking. We'll take it down to 4.4. Yeah, it's better. It's about 2/3 of the way across. On 4.4. Felt like a bit of lift on the line, that cast. Oh, nice smooth cast, nice and controlled, 2/3 of the way across. So we're on 4.3, let's take it down to 4.2. Yeah, and that's going out there lovely. We're definitely 2/3 of the way across the canal now, which is about what I would expect. Let's take it down to 4.1. Getting down to its limits now, I think. Yeah, we hit its limit at 4.1. We'll try that again. So it wasn't the best of casts on my part. A bit smoother. Yeah, it's lifting up. It's doing it. It went further then, just past 2/3 of the way. But you know, you'd be thumbing it, so you just have to, that's its limit. Its comfortable fishing limit is 4.2. There, I'm thumbing that, just stopping it from coming up. So I'd say 4.2 is its limit. So now we're going with the little jerkbait, which is about 3 grams. The reel is set on 5, and it should overbreak. No, it did a little, but it cast it nice and straight, about 2/3 of the way across. We'll drop it down to 4.4. Out we go again. It's lovely and smooth. It still feels like it's slightly over braking to me. A little bit further that time. So it's hitting distances I would expect. There we go. Yeah, it's comfortably hitting 2/3 of the way across the canal. And it feels controlled. Let's go down to 4.2. Right, we're on 4.2. Nice smooth cast. It's feeling like it wants to frap up on that. We've got a bit of a loose coil. So we're hitting its limits there. Let's try it again on 4.2. Yeah, it's done it. Let's take the spool a bit looser. But I feel like I'm on the edge of its limits with this little 3-gram lure now. It done it again. We're 2/3 of the way across. Let's take it down to 4.1, but I really am expecting a bird's nest this cast. Yeah, there we go. 4.1 is its limit. So it's casting respectable distances. It's very free running, but you don't seem to have that bigger range on the magnetic dial with the brakes, which is a bit disconcerting. So its limit was to comfortably fish there was about 4.3 with this 3-gram lure. So we'll just do another cast to confirm that with this. Yeah, and that's going out there comfortably, and it's going 2/3 of the way across on 4.3. Right, we're going to go to the little sub 2-gram Salmo Hornet now. I think it's around about 1.7 grams, something like that, 1.8 grams. I'm going to start off with the brakes on 5. We're going to loosen the spool off though, because you know, we have a very slow drop here at the moment. It's not even dropping off the rod tip at all, so we'll loosen it. You can see the spool's just moving now. We'll start with that. So very light here. I'm not expecting much. 20 feet and I'll be impressed. Let's see what we do. Yeah, it's over braking, pulling to the left, which I would expect, but I mean it did go 15 foot or so. So let's take it down to 4.4. Change my release point. It's straighter, quite free running. The spool felt, and it's a very light lure. It's proper BFS. Right, we're actually on 4.3 now. Change my release point. Yeah, I'm still going left a bit, but I am doing the distance. I'm doing, you know, almost halfway across the canal, so we're probably going more like 30 foot or so. We'll go down to 4.2, and yeah, it's going out there. I'm still pulling left. 4.2, but I think that's more my casting technique than anything. We'll bring it up a bit and release earlier. I'm pulling very left there now. We'll go with a longer drop, see if we can't get a bit more out there, but it's going out there. It's not particularly accurate. There, now we're getting some sort of accuracy. We're going straighter. Not totally feel like I'm totally in control, but I'm halfway across the canal. Let's take it down to 4.1. And yeah, we birdied then, but only just. And we're about, you know, we're hitting near enough the same spot all the time, so I'd be tempted to take it back one again. That was 4.1. Let's take it back to 4.2. Slightly longer drop to get there. Now we're getting it. Now we're getting the accuracy. And we are consistently casting somewhere around 20 to 30 feet, I think. I'm not great at judging the distance, so. But yeah, I'm still pulling to the left a bit, but I think that's more my timing. Let's cast down this way so you can see better. There. Yeah, that's going 20, 25 feet, something like that. We could loosen the spool a little bit more, leave the brakes as they are, and take the spool down a click. And that's running a lot freer and going straighter. but we're not going to throw these things very far. This is more for in a stream. Yeah, we birdied there. So yeah, its limit with a light lure is about 4.2, and accuracy wise, you know, I got 10-pound braid. It's not particularly accurate. It's you don't feel like you're have as much control over where it goes. That's probably 30 feet. Let's go across the canal again. I changed my release point and I'm a bit better, so I'm about sort of nearly halfway across, but I don't feel like I could sit the lure on a dime, you know. Let's try a longer drop again. There, and that's better. That's much better. So for me, a longer drop is getting me 20 to 30 foot. But you know, you can't expect any more than that with a, I think it's around 1.7 gram lure. So it does it, but it doesn't throw it far. But we can't expect too much with a lure like that, can we? So you got the PW100 with the 5 gram Ned Head and the FFS lures on. I'm going to start it off on mine, and let's see how we do. Alright, we'll go down this way so you can actually see. Yeah, it goes straight. I flicked it a bit underarm there. I think it's over braking for sure. Let's take it down more. Let's go again. There, that's better. Casting higher and further. Yeah, it's going out there. Comparable distance to the Zephyr. Maybe not as far, but we'll see. We'll get some down in the brakes. I'll try across the canal. This bit here. Yeah, it's still a bit tight, isn't it? I'm going to take the brakes down again. So we're just below 7 now. It's going pretty much the same distance, I say, as the Zephyr. Maybe, yeah, it's going the same distance as the Zephyr, and it feels controlled. So we'll knock it down to 6. Yeah, still very controlled and as free and as smooth as the Zephyr, actually. How far are we going now? We're below 6. Just a slight fluff there, but we're near enough across the canal, so we are doing the same distance. I felt the same with the Zephyr. I felt like I had to stop it on some cast because it was let's cast it down that way. It was going to go across the canal, which is excellent. This is all I want from a BFS reel. So I'll switch my casting angle now so you can see it's not into the sun, and I can cast a bit harder if I want to, knowing that I'm not going to hit the other bank. So you can see I'm down to 5 now, so I'm halfway down on the brakes. Let's take it down. I'm below 5 actually. Let's take it down to just above 4. I'm expecting trouble now. It's fluffing a little and my cast wasn't as good. I'm not gripping the spool enough. Let's try again. That's better. I'm still very controlled, so I have a much better, longer casting range than I did with the Zephyr. Though the Zephyr was doing what I wanted, it's not casting any further or any smoother than the PW100, which is, I'm below 4 now, so we're probably going to birdie. But yet we haven't, and I feel as though I could give it more. A perfect cast, I'd have it across the canal at this angle, so this is casting further. And I got more control. Taking it down again, you can see now 3.1. Yeah, we're just starting to lift now, but we're doing it easily on a good day. There's no wind, so let's find its limit. We're now actually on 3 or a click below it. Still no fluff up. I'll see why this reel's rated so highly. To be fair to the Zephyr, it did something that I only just got into. So you can see now I'm 2.5, Surely it's got to fluff up this time. Yeah, there, we've hit its limit. But I mean, that's quite an adjustment on the brakes there you've got. So, you know, you could comfortably fish it around 3. Take it down to 7. I'm trusting this reel now. Yeah, we're going straight now. And we're going about 30 feet. If not more. I've got no way of measuring this distance. Taking it click down, we'll go a click at a time now. But you can see the confidence I have. I'm swinging freely. I'm not worrying about braking. That casted a little bit further again. We're up to about 35 feet. We're down to just above 6 now. I'm freeing up, feeling comfortable with the cast. I'm gaining accuracy. Let's see what it drops like. Yeah, steady, reasonable drop with no fluff ups, which is what I'm always aiming for, so I'm comfortable with that. And I'm flinging it out. It's not going as far as a heavy lure, but then we can't expect that. It won't go as far as a 5 gram Ned Head. But it's controlled and it's going far enough and it's accurate. Yeah, I'm getting good accuracy there and good consistency of distance there. So we're getting down to its limits. Now we're down to just above 4. Show you that, prove it to you. You can see that if focus on it. Yeah, we're fluffing up now, but it didn't do it. It did. I got a slight bird's nest. So that's its limit with a 3 gram Ned Head. And an FFS Lures on. But yeah, that's quietly impressive, isn't it? So let's show you. That's as far as I would take it. I would knock it back further if I was fishing. So we're on 4 1/4, say. So we've able to use quite a bit of the range of the lure of the dial there, more so than with the Zephyr. So now on the PW100 we've gone to the little jerkbait. So it's around 3 grams. I'm going to start off on 7 and we'll do a cast that way to start off with. Yeah, and it's going out there and it's going straight and it's going about 20 foot or so. Probably more than that, actually. It's got to be more than that. This rod is 5 foot long and that's probably 25 to 30 feet. So take it down. So we're starting to get down near the limits of these reels and the rods now. You know, there's no hint there of any birdie and that's gone a good 30 foot. So this reel is casting this light lure lovely, beautifully even. Right, we go down to 6. You know, I do feel at times with this reel that I can give it more than the KastKing because I can feel more positive clicks on the dial with the brakes. I'm more comfortable as to where it is and I have a larger range. I mean, that's a beautiful cast. That's, you know, I'm 2/3 of the way across there now. I'm casting at the same distance as I was that 3 gram Ned, which is probably about 5-6 grams with the plastic on it, and we're below 5 now, so we're halfway down. And we're fluffing a little there now, but look at that. I could have thumbed that and that's a good cast. So I would say that is its limit there now. I'm not going to force this into a birdie because I want to get the other 2 baits done. But 5, we will go down a bit further. 4.5, come on. Expecting a fluff now. But a smooth cast and no. And it's gone there. It's done it. So we can probably push it lower. I've probably performed a stuttery cast before, but this is a good distance for a light lure like this. There you go. It wanted to fluff up then and it wasn't a perfect cast from me, but we'll do another. But we are near its edges now, you know, its limits, sorry. So what are we on? We're on just below 4. Let's cast down that way. So we're at its limits. Yeah, we've hit its limits. So 4 really is its limit. That's just below 4. 4 is going to be its limit. You comfortably fish this just above 4. But bear in mind, you've got to look at the scale of things. What is 4 in comparison to the Zephyr? So if I pull the Zephyr out of my pocket even, And you can see 4 on the Zephyr isn't halfway. 4 on the Fishband, the PW100, is below halfway. 5 is halfway. So, you know, you are going down further. You have more control with the Fishband, and I'm casting the same distance, if not more, because I'm feeling more confident. And this is 10-pound braid. If you went lighter, say 6-pound braid, you probably go further. A short light leather helps, but I'm tying the FG knot, so that's not really an issue. Yeah, we're going out there beautifully. I'm going 2/3 of the way across the canal with a crankbait, so we're looking at about 30 foot plus. We're on 5. Let's take it down to just above 4. Yeah, we've hit its limit there. It wasn't a perfect cast from me, but we're getting to its limits and my limits, aren't we? Which is the only thing I can compare with. As I say, I'm not an expert, not professing to be, but I am the same as a lot of you guys. You're just getting into this sport and you're buying budget kit. So this is what this review is about. It's different to experts reviews. You know, I'm doing some things wrong here. You know, I'm not an expert, but these are maybe mistakes you would make as well. Yeah, I'll put it back up to 5, and I am casting that beautifully over to where I would want to. So yeah, its limit is just above 4. It's very controlled at 5. Let's take it back to 4.5. Yeah, and it's starting to fluff up there, but it did it. So yeah, you can fish it at that. You're gonna have to thumb it a little, but that's where experience comes and gains you a few more yards, isn't it? So yeah, great. There's where we got to with it. 4.5. All right, so now we're fishing the 2 gram Salmo crankbait. So we're not expecting a lot for this. Let's get some sort of drop on it. There we go. We got a slow, steady drop. We're going to put the brakes up to 8, and it should over brake and cast left. Yeah, it pulled left. So expected it, and went about 10-15 foot. Let's take it down to 6. Still pulling left, going further. Could be my casting technique. Take it down to just below 6. I've just let go earlier, and we're going 10-15 foot. There's no difference here to the Zephyr, really. I don't think. We'll go down lower. Is there any more accuracy and control? Maybe. That was a good cast. That was a 15-20 foot cast, and it went straight, which is, that was with the brakes on 5. I've just taken them just below 5. So adjusting my cast, yeah, not so good. So when I get it right, I'm going a little bit further, I think, with the lighter lures. For me, we're on 4.5 now. Can you see that? If I get the drop right and everything else right, slightly longer drop and release point, it's more controllable and more accurate as well, because the brakes are more, they appear to be more throughout the cast. So with a lighter lure, I'm finding a longer drop is better for me. It might not be for you, and an earlier release, and I'm getting a good distance with this. All right, let's try it again. Earlier release. Yeah, we've hit its limits now. So its limits are 4, just below 4. It was fishing comfortably at about 4.5. So overall, I prefer the PW100. I think it's a better all-round reel, purely because of its braking system and how much adjustment you have within it. You know, I've cast that one that time, and that's very good for a 2 gram lure. My casting's getting better all the time. I'm gaining 20 foot or so there. That's the best I've done all day. So they're both good reels. The Zephyr cast lures easily. It's a smooth lure. It's a lovely looking reel. It's a better looking reel than the PW100, if you ask me. You know, it's a beautiful dial on there on the drag, but the adjustment on the brakes is a lot more wider and usable on the Fishband than the Zephyr. even though the Zephyr does cast similar distances. With the very light lures, I felt I could cast more further and more accurate with the Fishband. With the heavier end of the scale, I figured they were about the same. Depending on my cast at the time, made the difference. So the Zephyr is a great reel. It's a lovely reel. It's only spoilt by that braking system. It does break, it's just you can't use the whole range. It does cast the lures how you want. If someone gave me one, I'd be quite happy with it, but I think KastKing need to work on this braking system to make it more wider and more user-friendly. They need something more like this. This to me is the standard. This reminds me of the GH100, except for it's got a clicker. This reel doesn't have a clicker in the drag. That does have a clicker in the drag when the drag pulls off, sorry. So yes, I like it, but these are new offerings from KastKing and they're quite usable. Experts might prefer this to this, I don't know. I know people love this, a lot of people love that.